Hi, this is KC8ZKI, the QRP guy. I'm going to do a quick review setup video on the Radio Ditty QR20. I did not find anything on YouTube or anywhere else online on this radio. I found a few videos on a radio that is very similar to it, but not the actual radio sold by Radio Ditty. So I figured I'd do this video and maybe help some people out that are trying to figure it out, whether they want to buy the radio, whether they want to just set it up. So let's start the video. This is what comes with it. Got a little manual here. Came with a power cord. I put Anderson power poles on the end of the power cord. I do that with all my power cords. It came with a USB-C, USB-C cable. Came with a little microphone. And when I say little, this is a very little microphone, almost toy-like. It works. It has good audio, but the appearance is quite toy-like. And here's the radio. It is about the size of a Yaesu FT818. Very similar. Heavier though, definitely heavier. It's quite heavy for its size. So one thing I would like to say about the mic, at first, I called it a toy, but one thing that's great is it fits in that kit. And when I went to the park yesterday, I thought, how great. Everything I needed was in that little box, except for this, which is my QRP guy's end-fed no-tune antenna, which works great, by the way. So that was pretty impressive. I thought, well, that's nice, because the FT818 being about the same size is a nice small form factor also, but the microphone for it's darn near the size of the radio. So anyway, so let's get on with features and review on this radio. So there's the on switch. It powers on there. You know what, let's take that off. I enjoy doing that. So the first feature on any radio is the volume, right? So the volume is controlled by that little AF button there. And then you use this up, down. And you can see there's S volume, H volume, mic volume, compression, bass, and treble. I actually don't know what the H volume is. I've only used the S volume. Maybe that's for a later video. When you're done changing your settings, you click the button again. That's the short press on a button. Every button has a short press and a long press. The long press on the AF is actually for memories, and I'm going to come back to that at the end. I don't want to cover that yet. The next button over is your RF button. So if I press RF, one time short press, I've got RF gain, IF gain, squelch, AGC, and preamp. And I can move to any of those and adjust them. You hear it go up a little if I bring the RF gain up. Now that's pretty nice that you can adjust the RF and the IF gain. And the preamp, so you've got 3 different gain settings. And there's squelch, so I don't actually have the squelch enabled right now, so it's not going to do anything. So let's just exit the RF menu. Long press on RF allows me to tell the radio what I'm going to send out of the USB-C port. So I've got 2 choices. I've got USB or SDR. USB sends straight up audio out of the USB port. So that's a little misleading, but it's just audio. SDR sends IQ data. So it's going to send 48 kilohertz worth of IQ data to the external USB-C port. Long press turns that off. This is your RIT XIT. I never really used that. That's more of a CW guy's feature, and I'm not much of a CW operator. Here's your mode button. That cycles you through the modes. I was on lower sideband. There's CW, AM, wide FM, RTU, which is RTTY, DMR, which is for future, FT8, which is a upper sideband mode that just turns on the wide filter, sort of like they implemented on the new IC705 FT8 mode. Back to upper sideband. If I want to cycle between upper sideband and lower sideband, you long press the mode button. That cycles you upper and lower. I believe it's the same for wide FM and FM. The tune button, if I press it once, it turns on the tuner. You'll see, I don't know if you can see that there. It lights up the little T green. If I press it again, it turns the tuner button off. If I long press the tuner button, it will send a CW tone out and it will tune the radio. I'm not hooked up to no antenna right now, so I'm not going to do that. AB switches between your A VFO and your B VFO. Long press takes the A VFO and sets that current frequency into the B VFO, A equals B function. Noise reduction cycles between my noise blanker and software defined noise reduction. To turn it off, if I long press, what it does is it controls the view of the pan adapter and the scope. That's just waterfall. That's just spectrum. That's waterfall plus spectrum. To turn that noise reduction off, you actually long press the DSP. A little strange there. Short press of DSP opens up a menu that allows me to look at noise reduction level, noise blanker level, and peaking level. I assume the peaking is like an AF volume peak on CW. I actually haven't tried that yet. The PA, let's short press out of there. The PA button, short press, gives me an adjustment on the power amp out settings, 0 to 100. Long press changes it from high to low setting on power out. And depending on the band, I've seen anything, as much as 30 watts on 80 meters and 40 meters, and about 20 watts, a little bit more on 20 meters, about 10 to 15 on 10 meters and 6 meters. And it tapers off to 10 watts on 2 meters and about 4 to 5 watts on 70 centimeters. That's what I've seen. Okay, over here's my split. So when I go split, I've got the two VFOs, the AB, toggles them back and forth. If I were in a different band, so we'll just go to the band mode right now. I hit band, I can move over to the band that I want to operate. I'm gonna go to the 2 meter band. And there in the 2 meter band, you'll see I'm split and I've got 147, 735 on the top VFO, 151.58 on the bottom. I'm gonna hold the A equals B, that sets them both the same, okay? And then I'm gonna change this one to 135. That's my local 135 repeater, okay? So the way this is now, I'm receiving on 147.135, I'm transmitting 147.735. So I've manually set the offset for 2 meter FM. If I hold the split down, I get my menu for the tone for transmit, the tone for receive. There's a timeout. I don't know what that L voice is, to be honest with you.